All right, what's up, class? Happy Thursday. Today we're going to go over some pressing things. So it's going to be going from our shoulder up over our head. So you will need somewhat of a broomstick, PVC pipe, wooden dowel, or just like a jump rope, right? Just something that's about 5 feet across, something you can take over your head. And just to start again, I want to make sure, I don't know that I demonstrated it well enough last time. We're going to bring our shoulders down and back. Show you from the side again, right? This is me kind of being lazy. My shoulders are going forward. Bring my shoulders down and back, and then holding them there, I'm able to go back and forth. You might feel some tension on your chest, especially since a lot of times we are here so much. So this is forcing us to open up that chest, open up the ribs, and just get a stretch here, okay? So don't go too fast. Make sure that you're wide enough for it. Oh, let's spend some time back here. Oh my goodness. Okay, and we're just back and forth. And then after you do it a few times, you just kind of like inch your hand in just a little bit, and then you do it a few more times, right? And then as you start to feel that, oh, those shoulders and your chest open up a little bit narrower. Oh, yep. Oh. Yeah, then you have the around the world type stuff, right? Oh, okay. And then you're back the other way. Woo! Sweet. So, presses, okay? Going from our shoulder overhead. So this is any time that we be holding something, we have to put it up on a shelf, or we got to pick it up to carry it through somewhere. We want to make sure that our shoulders are aligned, our midline's intact, our foundation, our legs is nice and solid, so that we're not wobbly and we're not going to fall over, break what we're carrying, or spill or do whatever. So, first one is simply a shoulder press, okay? And by the way, most of this stuff is pretty darn simple. Don't think you're not getting it or you're missing something. Hopefully I do a good enough job. But don't overcomplicate it. We're just picking something from our shoulder, putting it up over our head, okay? So, first one, shoulder press. Hands are gonna be just outside the shoulders, and then my elbows are gonna come just in front of the bar. Okay, it puts the bar kind of under my chin right now. And especially if, I know my flexibility is one of the 10 general physical skills that is kind of lacking for me. If this bar doesn't have enough weight on it, my wrists don't bend back as far as I might want them to. And I'll show you this from several angles. Bars right outside the shoulders, elbows are gonna come forward. I'm gonna push my chin back, just like there's a smelly shoe or something right in front of my face. So I'm gonna push my chin back to here. Bar kind of almost skims my nose. As it gets over my head, I'm putting my head through my elbows, and then I'm up overhead, okay? I'm not shrugging up. My shoulders stayed down, okay? You guys see that little difference there. And then on the way down, I'm gonna bend my elbows. The bar is about to hit me on top of the head. I'm gonna push my chin back again. Bar comes down right in front of my nose. Elbows stay in front of the bar. Chin comes back over the bar as it gets back closer to the shoulder, okay? So from the other side, and I'll show you some ways we can mess this up. From the other side, elbows are in front of the bar, right? Push my chin back, press up, head comes back through, extend over. Again, not shrugging, everything's down. Elbows bend forward, right before it hits me on the head, I tuck my chin back, bring the bar right in front of my nose, chin comes back over the bar, elbows stay in front of the bar. Correct? Sweet. Now, notice as well, when I stand to the side here and I put this bar right in the middle of my foot, kind of to my shoulder, it should kind of line up right with my ear, right? There is a hole there, by the way. It's just kind of clogged up with cauliflower here, but it's there and it's lined up, okay? As I'm moving through this entire movement, or as I'm moving through this press, this shouldn't change at all, okay? So again, just imagine this PVC pipe stays right here. I've got my legs braced. I'm pulling my midline nice and tight. And as I press, it all pretty much stays right intact, correct? Some of the ways that we mess this up are right here, right? Okay? Ready to lean back? It's almost like a standing bench press, right? I extend my midline out, and I'm just pressing it to get my head out of the way instead of tucking my chin back and keeping everything in a nice straight line. And another way is actually when we get overhead, we'll stay in good position here, but when we put our head through, some of us will go, and then we push this butt out. And again, I'm extended here. I've tilted my pelvis this way, my hips this way, instead of keeping my butt tucked underneath, okay? So as you're moving through this, I want you to make sure you're keeping a tight tummy and you're in a nice straight line. Maybe try recording yourself and just watch. You don't need to send it to me. You guys are smart enough to self-correct, but just try to make sure that you're keeping this stuff intact, okay? So that's a shoulder press. The second one is a push press. Sometimes you don't have enough strength to get something from your shoulder up over your head with just your arms. So we're gonna recruit our legs and use those just a little bit. So, feet are gonna be like right underneath my hips, not in that squat, not in the squat stance or the super wide stance or a staggered stance, nothing like that. It's just wherever you would jump. So one of the things you can do is just jump in place, and then wherever your feet land, that's your jumping stance. Keep them there, okay? As I go and dip, all I'm really thinking about is pushing my knees out a little bit. Not forward, out, okay? My feet are still flat on the ground. I'm grabbing earth with my toes. And then from here, I'm gonna think about jumping. That's it, ready? Show from this end. Here, everything's nice and straight up and down still, right? Dip. Notice, I'll put this back. Notice that my hips and my shoulders and my feet are still in a line, correct? I am not going here and pushing my butt out and bringing my shoulders forward. I'm staying here and dipping straight down and then jump. That's it. So then when we do this with a bar, elbows are in front, my chin is gonna tuck back, I'm gonna dip down, nice straight up and down, right? And then I'm gonna kind of jump off the ground, push the bar up. It's a jump, then push. You do not do it at the same time. Dip, jump, push. Okay? Dip, push. Everything's staying in a nice tight line again. Again, watch yourself for that fault of leaning back or pushing the butt out as you get the bar overhead. Everything wants to be in a nice straight line. I just realized I never talked about overhead. Once I'm up over this overhead here, if I bring this PVC pipe to the side and then I let it drop down, it's still in a very, very straight line with my body, correct? All of this is nice and tight. I'm not looking for anything crazy way back here, can't be in front. We want this bar right behind our ears. That's where we are anatomically constructed to hold weight. You actually, if you have it in the right spot, the weight will rest on your skeletal system and not even your muscles. So we're definitely in the business of working smarter, not harder, okay? The last one, so that was push press, right? So we've done a shoulder press, a push press. Now we're gonna look at a push jerk. Push jerk, cool. It's the same thing as a push press, except we're gonna drop back underneath, okay? So I'm gonna dip, jump, and start to press, and as I'm pressing, I'm actually gonna press myself down and receive the bar overhead. So, same setup, here, elbows are a little bit in front, feet are set up underneath the hips, right? I'm gonna dip, and then I'm gonna jump, and then I'm landing again with bent knees and standing up all the way. Reset my feet, bring it back down. Okay, from this side, ready? Dip, jump and land. And then reset the feet, bring it back down. Dip. One more time. Nothing too crazy, right? So that's a shoulder press, a push press, and then a push jerk. So those are your 3 new movements for today. Practice with it. And cool part with this, okay? This position overhead. You know what this looks like? You know what I could like transfer this over to? Is a handstand. Okay? This position, this straight up and down position, is the exact same way. If you have a heavy enough bar to simulate your body weight, you could technically be strong enough, you may not have the balance Or the coordination, if we tie all of the 10 general physical skills in, you may not have the balance or the coordination yet, but you technically would be strong enough to support yourself overhead. And we might get into that a little bit later, but we might save it for the gymnastics unit later on in the year. We'll see. But this stuff transfers over, okay? Whether we're picking something up, holding ourselves in a handstand, all of these tools can be used in other facets of life. So I don't want you to get caught up with, I don't want to lift weights, or I don't want to get too bulky. Don't let me hear you say that either, okay? You'll be fine. I've been trying to get bulky for decades, still not there. Take this stuff, learn it, practice it, get good at it, answer the questions. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, guys, please reach out to me. I would love to bring them to the class anonymously. But I want to make sure that you guys are getting everything that you need to out of this, okay? Awesome. Talk to you tomorrow.